Wow, it's been so long. Man, literally, it's been a while since I've done this, turn the camera on and talk. I got to kind of retrain myself. I'm not holding a camera. There's no client. I'm not telling a customer to pose or whatever. This is different, I got to retrain myself on how to do this, because I haven't made a video in a while. Welcome to Vahagraphy, guys. This is Vahagraphy. I'm Vahagan, your rock and roll photographer. What am I talking about today? Well, quick little channel update and a special thank you to somebody. So that's what we're talking about today. And we're going to talk about the art of photography and, how that's important. It's more important than the camera brand that you use or what lens or whatnot. So, I know I've talked about this in the past about the art versus the gear, right? But it doesn't get talked about enough, especially on YouTube, especially on this platform. So moving forward, I'm going to emphasize the art as much as I can because it's so darn important, guys. It gets lost. I don't know what it is. It's this generation or it's you make a gear video and it does well. You talk about the art, it doesn't do well, but it's time to change that. When you look at an incredible musician, when you watch, for example, a YouTube video on somebody that's just amazing, right? The gear doesn't get talked about. A gentleman by the name of El Estebario Siberiano, one of the best drummers I've seen. I think he's leaps and bounds better than anybody I've seen play the instrument. The precision, just the amount of discipline, how badass this guy really is. Surfing through the comments of his videos, not one person talks about gear. Not one person talks about the brand of gear or what cymbals he's using or what drums. He doesn't even have that many drums. But he's so incredibly talented. And actually, he says it's not talent, it's his work ethic, which I believe him. He practices a lot. But why in the photography world do we talk about gear and we fight about the brands and we fight about the instrument that we use, which is a camera and a lens? We hardly talk about what you're producing with this camera, because cameras are meant to take pictures. We should be really fighting and judging and looking at the art of somebody's, what they're producing. And we don't do that. Why don't we do that? And in the music world, that's all they talk about is how badass somebody is on the instrument. We need to change that, guys, and we need to change that now. A lot of it has to do with the camera manufacturers and the culture and the corporate culture. They plant the seeds. They have these, seminars and trade shows where they emphasize how important it is for you to have the new camera, how important it is for you to have the new lens, because if you don't have the 1.2 latest lens from Canon, Nikon, Sony, or whatever, you won't be able to produce this type of image that an ambassador is showing you on the screen. Hogwash, bullshit. I call bullshit on that. You can produce that. It's all about how much time you're investing in the tools that you're learning, the composition, the lighting, the distance from subject to camera to background, not the lens you're using. You give me a 5-10-year-old camera and lens, I can pretty much work wonders with it. How much time and effort you're putting into bettering the skills, the art. Let's talk about the art, guys. Because this culture, like I said, they want to sell you cameras. They want to sell you gear. That's part of the reason why they don't sponsor me, because I say it like it is sometimes and they don't like it. No, you don't need the latest, greatest toy. You can do it. You can buy a 10-year-old camera, learn the skills, learn the art, become a badass photographer. That'll get you further ahead in your photography journey than if you were to get the latest $5,000 body and $10,000 lens. Not important, guys. Not important at all. Again, the camera manufacturers don't want you guys to be hearing this, but that's the truth. It's the truth. And in the music world, it's all about the music. In the photography world, it should be the same. It's all about the photography, and it's sadly not. We get into these battles, and it's just nonsense. So, and another reason has to do with maybe you're really not a good photographer, and all you have to talk about to join the club is your gear. Maybe that's why this culture is so obsessed with gear, because you're not taking the time to learn and use a camera properly. So all the talking points and the argument that you have is, well, let's talk about gear because my photography sucks. Maybe that's the reason why you can't produce with your camera. I want to thank somebody. His name is Amar. Amar, Camera Sutra, 247 Media Group. Great guy. He's become a friend of mine over the years. I highly respect this guy. He knows what he's talking about. Thank you again, Amar, for really keeping in touch and calling me throughout this whole fire incidents here in Los Angeles. And we stayed in touch. Recently, we had a conversation and he asked me, well, your whole thing is rock and roll photographer, but I don't see no rock and roll. I don't see you taking pictures of musicians and doing what you love. And it got me thinking, you're right. What do I want to do? Do I want to talk about gear on this channel? Do I want to talk about brands that really don't give two shits about me? They don't pay my bills. They don't do nothing for me. And we make these rumor videos. We make these hype up videos. We influence. But really, we don't get nothing out of it. Why should we continue to do that? I thought, you're right. The other day I went to a concert and a Dream Theater, one of my favorite bands of all time, were playing. I actually made a video and I posted it on my channel and did very well, by the way. And I was thinking, man, I want to be down there. I want to be down there with my cameras because that's what I enjoy doing. That's what I'm skilled at. So Mike Savoya, shout out to you. He's a concert photographer, amazing dude, great guy, great photographer. So it got me thinking, what do I want to produce on this channel? I built a community, but, there's been some hiccups down the road with personal things and this and that. And I stopped making videos for a little bit of time. But what do I want to do, on this channel? Do I want to just completely stop and just throw 3.5 years of, building a community and getting to know people and all this effort I put into this channel? By the way, we're reaching 17,000 subscribers, and I don't take that for granted. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for supporting since day one, subscribing, commenting. What I want to do moving forward is bringing you more content about the art of photography. What do I do with these cameras? If you're familiar with my work, if you're familiar with my reviews and the content I produce, I love doing things a little different, talking about weird things, an off-topic kind of thing, going behind the scenes, interviewing people, just talking to different people and bringing that conversation onto the channel so you guys could experience what I've experienced. Cut out all the BS, this and that, and just bring you content that really, really matters and that can inspire somebody to pick up a camera and say, shit, man, you inspired me to do this, photography, like I said, it means a lot to a lot of people, different things, photography can be your career, the way you make a living. Photography could be your hobby. But you know what? Everybody's given the same opportunity in photography to get as good as they want to get. And that, with time, patience, and a lot of hard work, you can be a really badass artist. Rock and roll when it comes to, I want to mix the rock and roll with the pictures. And I want to go out and shoot shows, musicians, studio, you name it, fun things, that I had a vision when I started. I want to continue that. I want to do fun things. I want to do real creative things. Not necessarily what brand I'm using. I'm going to be using a brand. It's not really going to be important. I'm going to be using this lens, that's fine. That's fine and dandy, but it's the picture that I'm going to be showing you, how I made this picture. Thank you, Amar, for really having that conversation. By the way, check him out. He is a cool, fun guy. Very underrated channel, by the way. The reason why I say that is because he's very knowledgeable about cameras and art and photography. He has a lot of experience. And a lot of it is just, he says things that just, you can really learn from the guy. Check them out. Camera Sutra 247. Go out there, rock and roll, have fun, and we'll be seeing you guys very, very soon. Again, I got to retrain myself because I haven't done this in a long time. Put up a camera and microphone and talk. You get rusty. At times, if you don't do this for a while, you get rusty. I'm used to just having a camera with the subject, shooting, smile, talk, pose, tilt your head this way. No, smile, no. Give me a serious look. Okay, yeah, tilt your head. Let's go over to the shade. Setting up my flash, my strobes, taking pictures, editing. That's what I've been doing. But now I haven't done this in a long time, so. For those of you who don't know, I hardly ever use a teleprompter. I just like to wing it, off the cuff. I think out of the hundreds and hundreds of videos I've made, I used a teleprompter maybe 2 times. And it wasn't my thing. Beautiful. All right, guys. Go out there, shoot, rock, and roll. And we'll see you soon on the next video. This is Vahagraphy. I'm Vahagan, your rock and roll photographer. Go out there and shoot and have fun. Rock and roll.